Lester Russaw, and I sang with the rock and roll group called Coronets.
And I guess we're gonna start off a little bit about you. Have you always lived in Ohio?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In the Cleveland area.
Cleveland area.
And I guess so. I know you joined a Glee club with some of these guys back in high school.
Yes,
But
that was in high school.
yeah,
That's when we started.
yeah.
You know, we were all at Edison High School, and we were in the Glee club, and that's how we got started.
And I guess before all that, I guess the reason why you joined that Glee club, like, did your parents listen to music? Were they musical at all, or
No, it's something that just happened.
just happened?
It's,
Yeah.
it just happened, and we all actually being in the Glee club, you know, we sang, and we liked singing. So that's how we got started, you know. And we would go to various entertainment places and audition. You know, that's how we got started, auditioning at various uh, outfits, and we would win most of the contests. You know,
What kind of like shows would you do with those amateur like
W-
contests?
well, just a regular show, you know, where you appear and you do your thing, you know, and we enjoyed it, and the girls were fantastic. You know, the girls are always fantastic when it comes to vocal groups.
And I guess before you guys had the Coronets, you guys had a different name, right? The Oriole Tears. Was that before?
No, no, we didn't use any other name.
Really?
No, no, we didn't use any other name. Matter of fact, I'm the one and that chose the uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I selected those because I thought they were really cool,
Would you,
especially with the string tie, you know. And
where'd you first see that? I guess where'd you see those uniforms?
in the, well, um, we went to a clothing store, and we were all looking around, you know, and I said, hey, this would be cool here, you know, especially those shoes. Boy, those shoes are really something, you know.
What do you still have your old uniform at all, or
Oh,
no?
no, no.
What was on those shoes? Because they look really fun.
There was what did the man say they were? Unborn calf, or whatever. But I thought that they matched the uniforms real good, you know.
That's great. That's really cool. I guess thinking about the song you did Nadine, that first record you guys made.
Hmm.
How did that come to be? Like, how did you guys get that record out?
Well, Charles is Carruthers, our lead singer, is the one who came up with that, you know, and so we just improved on it during our practice and went from there. That's all.
Yeah. And how did you? I heard you guys went to the office of Alan Freed,
Hmm.
and you guys talked with his manager or secretary, and
Hmm.
how did that go? Like, just going to his office and
Well, Alan Freed was the person uh, for rock and roll back in those days. You know, he was the person to go to if you wanted to, if you had a group that you want to get started, or you wanted to say find out about how a group should work, and so we went to him. Actually, Sam was our manager, and Sam went to him. Well, first of all, before going to him, we cut a tape of Nadine, and we went to one of the few recording studios back in those days. And the one we went to was on 4th and Prospect, called the, I had it, but I lost it, studio. I lost the name of it. But we went to this studio and we cut a tape, and that's what we brought to Alan Freed. When we wanted to see him, we went down to, he was on Euclid, 14th Street and Euclid. And it was his office. He had one of those studios. And so we went to his office, talked with his secretary, gave her the record. And she said, well, I'll give this to Mr. Freed and he'll get back with you, And that's what most groups did. They would go to a person that they think that would help them, and that person will get back with them, and then they're on their way, just like what the Moonglows did. We had a lot of groups back in those days, and we did the best we can. We would appear before someone and give them an audition, and then they would decide as to whether they would manage us, so.
I guess after you got the thing to Alan Freed, how did he approach you guys to re-record it for Chess?
Well, he would notify us, well, Sam, because Sam was the manager. And then Sam would tell us, okay, we got this recording session, and it's in Chicago. And so we went to Chicago and met with Phil and Leonard Chess, and we started recording.
And I heard, and I guess in the article I read about you guys, that when you guys recorded Nadine, it's like the finished product was totally different from how you guys used to sing it.
Yeah, yeah. That's the way it usually is. It's a little different from the way it was written, and it's sung a little different, but it's basically the same, just variations.
Yeah.
And it came out pretty good, so you can't fault that,
It was a pretty big hit for you guys, right? Number 3
Yeah.
on the R&B charts.
Yeah.
I guess after you guys put it on wax and it goes to the charts, what shows did you guys get work after that?
Well, a band was set up for us. I don't know how that happened because Sam did all that, and we had a band, and we would appear at theaters in various cities, and we mostly toured in the South, and that was a real experience, because back in those days there was discrimination, and what the groups do today, you couldn't do then, For example, you couldn't leave the dressing room after your performance. You had to either stay in your dressing room or leave the theater. And
How was that?
that was really something. You couldn't eat in restaurants. We had to eat, go to the kitchen to eat. You know, when we would pull over, as we were going from one performance to another, we would go to the back of the restaurant, and but that's the way it was, and that's the way we accepted it, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess on those tours, did you have any memorable experiences with like other groups, other bands, or any like hanging out with those guys at all? Or?
No, we didn't. We didn't come in contact with any other groups, especially in the South. We couldn't, but we did in the brief time that we appeared up north, you know, and that's a sad thing, but that's the way it was, you know.
I guess after that, after those tours and stuff, you guys went back and recorded another song, right?
Well, let's see, Nadine, I'm All Alone.
Then It Would Be Heavenly.
It Would Be Heavenly.
Baby Coming Home.
But those were not cut on records. You know, they really, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
You know, because things were really funny. You know, things didn't go right too much, you know, back in those days. And we sang them, but they were not put on the record like Nadine was.
I've seen some disc jockey copies of it floating around here and there, and it's a really pretty song. It Would Be Heavenly. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And you guys had some other unreleased songs too, like I Want You to Know, G.I. Misery, Should I, right?
Yeah. Well, those were backups, and you know, backups don't appear, you know, too much on labels.
And I guess going back to the recording sessions you guys did, how was like the environment with that? And like how many takes did you guys take? And was like, what did you enjoy singing in the studio and stuff like that? Or?
Well, of course, you know, and when we practiced, we only did one take.
Really?
One take, you know, and I'm trying to think of the recording studio. Almost got it. But it was right downtown on 14th Street, and it was one of the few recording studios back in those days, you know. Snyder Recording Studio, downtown on 14th Street. And it was a typical studio where you got the big room where all of the speakers and the microphones were, and then you sit around, and they had their own band, you know, to back us up. And it was interesting, you know, it's something that we never experienced before.
It's really cool, really cool. And then I guess pretty much right after you recorded It Would Be Heavenly and that side, you were drafted, right?
That's after we appeared here at the Loop Lounge, I went into the service.
How was that show? Because I guess that's the only live photo of you guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Bill was leading this song at that time. You know, he was a bass.
Yeah.
Would you believe he's a bass?
That's funny. I guess after you got out of the service, did you ever meet up with those guys again? Wanted to sing with the group, or?
We came in contact once, but they had broken up, and I think it was Sam and I think George of the original group, Sam and George. Charles, I think he went in the service too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after I did. So it was only Sam and George were the ones that were left. Yeah.
Interesting. I guess when you were in the service, did you sing in any groups then, or do any
Oh
singing
no,
or not?
no. I would. I went into the special service, which was the ASA, the Army Security Agency, and so I went to Special Communications and Intelligence School, and that's what I did. You know, I didn't do any singing or anything like that.
Cool. I guess, is there anything else you want to mention about the Coronets that I might have missed?
Well, I was proud to be a member of that group.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they say that your 15 minutes of fame,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I had, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah, it's a great record. You guys made a great record.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. Is there anything you want to say to the audience at all? Or?
Well, thank you for your support.